The backbone of any great home gym is your pair of adjustable dumbbells. But most adjustable dumbbells have two main problems. One, they are not nearly durable enough to carry you for the life of your training. And two, they just aren't heavy enough to really let you push, and as you advance, they're not gonna carry you. Today though, we're gonna test a pair that may address both of those issues. That is the Hammer Strength Pro 100 adjustable dumbbells. These are a collaboration between Hammer Strength and Power Blocks, so two recognizable names, and they aim to address both of our issues in a couple ways. One, Power Blocks has always been known for building really durable adjustable dumbbells, so they're gonna try to address things in that way. These bill themselves as the toughest adjustable dumbbells on the market. We will test that. Two, these dumbbells, unlike most of what's on the market, go up to 100 pounds. In general, when you see adjustable dumbbells, you're gonna see them usually 40, 50, 60 pounds, 80 or 90 on the high end. In fact, Power Blocks regular adjustable dumbbells typically go up to 90, but these go up to 100. Those extra 10 pounds offer you a little bit more challenge on your farmer's carries, on your dumbbell presses, on a lot of your heavier lifts that can actually get you stronger. So let's see how these Hammer Strength Pro adjustables stack up. We're gonna run them through a couple tests and see where things shake out. So what's under the hood on these adjustable dumbbells? They are made of urethane coated steel plates. These are meant to be durable. They're not the plastic that you might see on a lot of cheaper adjustable dumbbells. And there's also a lot of freedom for us to make adjustments here. We go from 5 all the way up to 100 pounds. We're doing it with a clip, which in theory is gonna be part of the durability of these dumbbells. Really easy to slip and change. And we can adjust these dumbbells not just in these large 10-pound increments, but by 2.5 pounds via this little tab here. All we do is hit that, and then we can take out 2.5 pound add-on so that we can change the load on our dumbbells. When we purchase these, you're gonna start with 40 pounds, and from there you can purchase expansion packs to get yourself all the way up to 100. So that winds up being the setup. It's a really nice setup. Seems to offer us a lot of options, but will it stand up to the test? We're gonna go to that now. So how are we gonna test these dumbbells? We're gonna do this Men's Health style, and we're gonna do this in a way that's gonna help you figure out whether you can get a full workout in with them. We're gonna basically take these dumbbells through a full workout. We're gonna do 5 exercises. They're gonna range in different weights. We're gonna get a light exercise in there, something a little bit ballistic, something heavy. That way we can test these dumbbells and take them through their paces. Then we're gonna test their durability, and we're gonna start this off with the biceps curl, a workout that's in most guys' regimens, and we're gonna start light. We're only gonna do a set with 25 pounds just to get a feel for things. Helping me to get the weight right. And all we're gonna do, and right off the bat, I mean, these feel fine. One of the issues I've always had with Power Blocks is these rims, right, or these spokes right here kind of cut into my ability to get a truly complete range of motion. That continues to be a problem with Power Blocks, but at the same time, I still get a nice good contraction, and these weights feel sturdy, so instantly right off the bat, I like that a lot. So the takeaway from doing the curls is, yes, we can get curls done, we can get some of our accessory motions done, but because we still have these strips across that just add stability, that's part of the reason these dumbbells are so durable, but they are going to undercut your range of motion on a couple things. They're not gonna feel as natural for your accessory exercises. In particular, my curls, I can do them, but I'm not really getting that full contraction that I want. So test 1 went okay. I feel like I can get some curls done with this, but how do the Power Blocks handle with ballistic ideas? We're gonna test that with a dumbbell snatch. So we're gonna add a little bit of weight. So let's get a set of these snatches and see how things feel. I definitely feel a little bit constrained, again, because I've got those strips on the outside of the dumbbell. And I don't feel like if I was doing alternating snatches, if I was doing some kind of really fast-paced CrossFit style Metcon, it's not gonna be a really fluid experience. But if I'm just doing classic snatches, if I'm not really trying to move with any kind of speed, if I don't need to fit something into like some sort of EMOM or 5-minute AMRAP, you can make it work with these. Not ideal for explosive ideas, but we can get it done. So we've hit a couple light exercises. Now we're gonna get to the fun stuff. We're gonna start to lift heavy. We're gonna move up a little bit more with these Power Blocks, and we're gonna get in an incline press. This gives us a chance to test that. If you can't bench press with dumbbells, are they really any good? Probably not. So the mechanism is nice and easy as we change weights. It's pretty fluid. You do need to kind of think a little bit because you have to make sure you match the color to the right weight as it's listed here. But once you're in a rhythm, it's just like picking up a dumbbell and trying to figure out where you're going load-wise there. So incline presses, getting in position nice and easy. So it felt pretty solid, felt pretty good once I got in pressing position. To be honest, I actually like setting up with the power blocks a lot better than I like setting up with a standard pair of dumbbells because you don't wind up with any kind of spots that are nagging into your thighs when you're setting up for your press. So I actually kind of appreciated that about these. Once I got in pressing position, nice and easy. Again, because we've got these bars here, you have to be pretty decisive with how you're grasping the bar, but that's not really a bad thing at all. So these definitely passed the incline press test. They definitely felt very, very solid out of load pressing. Now we're gonna flip around. We gotta get a back exercise in here. We're gonna move up in load with this. So we're gonna go for 80 pounds and we're gonna work an incline row. This gives us a chance to insert the clips back in. Nice quick process, and that is a very quick change with that red dial, super easy. And it takes a little bit to kind of line up those clips just right, but it gets the job done. See if we can be faster on the other side. And so it is just a little bit, I don't use these dumbbells all the time, so it took me a while to figure it out. Much faster on the other side. Let's see how these guys row. So starting to move a little bit of load. And how do these handle? I can technically get my incline rows done, but your mileage on this is gonna vary a little bit based on the style of your bench. I've got slightly wide supports on this bench, and that actually made rowing, because of the width of these dumbbells, that actually took me a little bit of a while to figure out, and I had to go a little bit wider with my row. If you're doing chest supported rows with these, it's gonna feel a little bit different. Them free weights is gonna take a little bit of getting used to. You're gonna wanna start a little bit lighter. It does feel good. Again, these dumbbells feel terrifically solid, both on the incline press and on this row. They don't have that sense of looseness that I feel with some adjustable dumbbells. So that is a definite plus. I feel really, really comfortable with these. I just wish they weren't quite so wide. For the load that I'm at 80 pounds. I wish they were a little bit skinnier. That way I had a little bit more freedom to row. So now let's max these babies out. We've tried a bunch of exercises for our upper body. I can get most of my upper body motions done with these Pro 100s, but what happens when I max things out? How does it work for training my lower body? To test that out, we're gonna go to the Romanian deadlift, and we're gonna take these dumbbells now from 80 all the way up to 100. Let's see how they handle. As I'm getting more and more comfortable, it gets easier to kind of switch the weights. And the first thing right off the bat, these dumbbells are really wide. So how did these feel with the RDL? Well, they're definitely a little bit wide, and I notice it mostly when I'm trying to glide down. If I'm using standard dumbbells or standard free weights, I can keep my arms a little bit closer to my sides. Here I was a little bit more out because I have to deal with the width of the power blocks. Still, it was a really, really good, comfortable experience. I actually like the rubber grips for heavy lifts like this. Made it a little bit easier on me to maintain my grip, which I liked a lot. Going heavy with them again, a really good feeling of solidity to the dumbbells, which I really liked on the RDL. So you're gonna be able to get your heavyweight exercises done. And to be honest, the fact that you have this little guard out here on the Pro 100 actually serves a little bit of benefit because I can lean that guard almost against my forearm, and it makes it a little bit easier to hold the dumbbells over your duration. So if you're doing farmer's walks, if you're doing heavy lunges, if you're doing ideas where you wanna go heavy, but you don't really wanna overthink or you're not focusing on your grip and you just wanna be able to hold the dumbbells, the structure of these Pro 100s actually works a little bit in your favor. So I'm gonna give it high marks for the RDL and for any of the heavy lifts you're gonna do where we're gonna hold bilaterally and we've just gotta hold a heavy weight. Okay, so now to the exciting part, the drop test. So I can get through a full workout with the Pro 100s. That's a really good sign. The ultimate test of any dumbbell though is gonna be its durability. The only way we can really test that is by dropping the dumbbells and seeing what happens. So that's exactly what we're gonna do. We're gonna do it at 2 different loads. We're gonna do it lighter with 50 pounds to see what happens from 2 different heights. And then we're gonna do it with the max dumbbell. The interesting thing with the build of these Pro 100s is that the heavier the dumbbell gets, the more secure it gets. So hopefully that helps, but we're really just gonna find out as soon as we drop them. So let's see what happens. We've got 4 drops. Let's see how these Pro 100s survive, and then we'll make a judgment on exactly how these dumbbells fit in with your routines. Now, before we drop all this, we gotta keep one thing in mind. If you actually do drop the dumbbells, you void the warranty. We don't care about that because we wanna get a really good test in, so let's just do it. Let's go with the lightweight, hard, and the heavy one. Okay, so let's see what our damage report is on these. The good thing is they didn't go far. Now the couple things we want to test on these after we've dropped them, there are 3 mechanics we need to check. We need to make sure we can change the weights, and we need to make sure we can swap the weights, and we need to make sure we can take out the core piece. So let's test it, let's see how the 50-pound unit fared. Clip still works nice and easy. It's plastic, so this is pretty durable. And again, this is just, that's a nice simple mechanism. Pulling out the dumbbell still works fine. Now the thing with Power Blocks originals in general is sometimes these clips can jam, this little red tab can jam, but it's functioning fine, so. So from a very basic drop height, as if you were finishing a bench press and you couldn't finish off the set, the 50-pounder survived. We can almost assume that the 100-pounder survived, but let's just double check that. Clip moves nice and easily. Even though it came down to the ground with more force, the tab still works just fine. Shifts in and out nice and easy. We are successful at a bench height. Let's see what happens when we drop it from higher. That'll be even more fun. So we've got one more test. We're gonna go about shoulder level, and we're gonna test those same features and see what happens. This is the ultimate test of dumbbell durability, a good sign that these can take a pounding, assuming they survive. So let's see what happens. Gonna take the 50-pound dumbbell, count to 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay. So that's the 50-pound dumbbell. Keep in mind it's from a pretty high height. Let's see what happens when we drop the 100. 1, 2, 3. The Power Blocks did not survive the high drop test. And basically, on both the 100 and the 50, it's different degrees of damage, but it looks like it's only on the clip that changes the weights, which is actually kind of a good sign. The attachment for us to shift to light weights still works really well on the 100. This attachment still works as well, still feels solid. So the core of the dumbbell survives and the actual load survives. The only thing that you're gonna run the risk of damaging if you wind up dropping your dumbbells is the plastic part, which in theory, it's only attached by a piece of elastic and it just wraps around the outside of the dumbbell. So this is entirely replaceable. You can easily buy the selector clip. It winds up only being 15 bucks. The core of the dumbbell survives, so you still have a really, really sturdy structure. We just have to attach this back on. So it's really not that bad. The dumbbells are durable. In terms of scratches, we have One scratch on the large dumbbell, so that's 100 pounds crashing down to the ground. The 50-pound dumbbell, there's nothing. These things are still like new. So final thoughts on the Hammer Strength Pro 100s. These are probably not for beginners. If you're somebody who's just training in your living room and you just want to move a little bit of weight, you're not really going to take advantage of all the load that you can get onto these, and you're also not going to get the most out of it for your smaller accessory motions, for dumbbell curls, for skull crushers, for ideas like that. If you really want to push the load and you want to go heavy, these are great dumbbells for the RDLs. I love them for incline presses and for bench presses, and they get through just enough on the rows that you can really get a workout done. So they're a really great dumbbell for anybody who wants to push a load. If you're really trying to build muscle, there's a lot of challenge. And as we found in the drop test, these can take a pretty good pounding. They'll only run you $15 in the long run because the core of this unit is really built to last.